crackle spray they've got.
Yeah. Well, hey, hello everybody. It's so good to see you. It's I tell you what, I started to say it's been a sunny day and then it got cloudy and then the sun came back out and it got cloudy again. It's starting to get dark here and it's mid-afternoon. So anyway, it's a good day. It's a good day to be on the lathe and I've got some fun in store. I do believe it looks like we're going to have a bit of fun. Had to go back way back in YouTube history and found a video that I've watched 3 or 4 times now, and there's one of the stars right there, Mr. Wayne Clasper, along
Good
with
evening.
Ruby Claire. These guys are going to help keep me straight, and if I make a mistake, I'm sure Wayne's going to go, wait a minute, and Ruby might just as well, and that's okay because I really don't know what I'm doing. You may remember the water drop bowls that several of us did. Wayne did several of them, and I've done a couple. In fact, I've got one drying right now that I'm real excited about. But a vase, Wayne did a vase back probably 6 years ago that
It
really
was.
came out. Yeah, it came out really nice, and I enjoyed it, and so I thought let's give that a whirl. So that's what we're going to do today. So Ruby, Wayne, I'm going to set you guys back in the back again and
Good.
let you have some fun and make fun of me or whatever it takes. And while you're doing that, and let me know who all's in, I forgot to say I've got a piece of Leland cypress. It's roughly 6 inches tall, 4 to 5 inches in diameter, depending on which direction you measured in. And I've got it marked on both ends as a center. And so we're going to put that in and get it round, and then we're going to have some fun with it. So if one of you guys wants to let us know who all's in the chat, and we'll be on with
Well,
Now,
there's an option.
it. Awkward silence. You trying to
No,
force the issue, Wayne? Is that what you're doing?
no. I'm not. I'm not going to do that.
Uh,
As everyone knows, Ruby is very shy and doesn't like speaking on camera or off camera. So I'll just get down to it. And
okay.
first in tonight was Frederick Day from Kent, and he said the current temperature 16 degrees C, which is 60 Fahrenheit. That's pretty warm. It's going to stay warm for the next day or so, but it's going to be quite wet as well.
I wish it
Uh,
was that warm here.
Doug's saying hello. Ruby is saying hello as well. Oh, we Val's in. Hi, Val. Malcolm Douglas is in. Mike Evans. Mike Yu from Ilminster. Oh, hang on. Your chat just jumped. Go all the way back up. Jennifer's in. Jennifer's Crafting Creations. Evening, Jennifer. Mike's in from Dancers. Did I see Malcolm Douglas? I think I did.
Name do
Andy Door 60's in. Oh, Mike's saying hi again to all the replies. Oh, he's having to clean up some dinner stuff, so he's going to be back in 5 minutes. Clint Wood Dancers is in. I'm still going down. Oh, Lucy's in. Hiya, Lucy. Todd at Glen Cove.
Little.
Michael McEwen.
Al Dawson, Al.
Oh my God. I'm still about halfway down the chat here. Roger Wallum. Scott's in. Hampton Wood Turners. Steve Hill. Deal's in. Old Man River. Vinnie Charlton's in. I'm getting to the bottom. Jack Jecker is in from Victoria, Texas. I don't think I've heard Jack's name before. Good evening, good afternoon, Jack.
Yeah, welcome to the group.
Tim Ponder's in. Roger Kent. I'm still going down. And Ward's in from the west coast of Arizona.
My lord.
Still going down. Andy's in as well. Lucy's taller half. And Jamie's here. Evening, Jamie. Anthony
Hey,
Green's in.
Huh.
I'm nearly at the bottom, honestly. Yeah, I heard you, Jamie. I heard you. I mentioned you.
Paul Houghton, the Gravesby Turner.
Evening, Paul.
Livy Woodshed.
Evening, Andy. I think that's Andy as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, I'm at the bottom. There you are. My God, that was a job.
I don't think you missed anyone, but in case you did, welcome everyone.
Hello, everybody. It's good to have you along.
And Jamie is saying to you, Doug, that's not a skew.
But he was making a skew-like cut with it.
Mike, to tell you the truth, I don't know how Jamie notices the difference because he only uses carbides anyway.
That's a skew now, Jamie.
Barry's in, Barry Chitty.
Hi, Barry.
And Ronald Todd is in as well.
Hi, Rod. You can tell it's a nice sharp tool by the shavings coming off.
I tell you the truth, whenever Doug does this, I don't know if it's because of the camera angle, but whenever he presents that skew, it always looks like he's using the long point first.
No, well, yeah, it's camera angle. I've got long points up. Long point is up for sure. I tell you what, I mean, a lot of folks talk about doing long point down. I've tried it. It just doesn't work very well for me.
It doesn't for me either. And folks, I hope you noticed that the first thing Doug did when he went to the skew was he raised the tool rest. Although it looks like he's cutting on the side of it in this picture, he's actually cutting close to the top.
Norman Greenwell's just come in.
I'm a little odd from most people. I do have my tool rest lower than most do. Most would have it up, so they're cutting almost on the top of the wood, and I cut down here just a bit. It's just me. I'm used to having my handle down, and so that's what we've done. But anyway, that's a nice smooth surface. That's like a, if you're going to want to talk about sanding grits, we could start at 180 at least, but we're not there. That's not what I'm going to do. So anyway, I'm going to fix a tenon on here so we can flip it around. And I think I want my tenon on this end. No, I don't. I want it here. We'll get rid of these. That's a couple of worm trails. So anyway, let's do a tenon.
And Jamie says that he decorates his roof with screws. They hang out of it nicely.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Wow, I'll let you folks know that Record Power has come out with a few changes in their tools. and they do have a video out on YouTube about it. And
All
one of
right.
the changes was they've changed the shape of the handle so that instead of being round, it's actually pyramid shape. It's got three sides to it.
All right.
So it actually fits in the hand and is easier to grip. And in a few weeks, when I'm demonstrating at the Hamilton Wood Show, I'm going to get to try them out.
There you go.
I've got to say, I've never actually tried a handle like that.
I have them. They tend to be comfortable.
Somebody was using one of those just the other day, and can't remember who it was now.
And as Jamie just pointed out, they have started to make some carbide tools.
Probably not before time, to tell you the truth.
The other thing they did was they've improved their skews in that they've rounded the top and bottom edges. So they've finally gone away from the sharp edges.
Good.
Now I just have to get them to make a few other changes.
There we go. Now we're in there. I'll back my dust collector away just a little bit. I'm going to get the elbow stabber out of the tailstock. There we go. Because I'll need...
You're not going to use it to support the piece while you shape it?
No.
Nah.
That makes it too easy, Ruby.
Oh, I'm old-fashioned, I guess.
I could do this with a skew, but I'm going to use a spindle gouge just to kind of shape my vase, my vase, my flower holder.
And you're actually shaping the bottom at the moment, Doug.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the good thing that I like about this shape, which I think I've mentioned hundreds of times on when I've been doing a live, is that using this shape, you can either use the way Doug is, using that as the bottom of the vase, or once he turns the top, you'll see what I mean. But you can actually flip it and turn it around the other way. So, Ruby, Jamie is asking, are you trying to get them to put a Ruby Claire signature on series of tools out? There's a suggestion.
Well, I still got a few more things to work out with them. But I did meet with their research and development team, and they showed me what they were working on. And basically, I gave them yes or no. And on the ones that I said no to, what I did was I explained to them why. And then we put some wood on the lathe, and I showed them. And I think that helped quite a bit with making a few of the changes that they've come up with.
Now, Frederick has said, as I mentioned, all of his gouges have come from Axminster Crown Series. One or two of them, the ferrules have cracked every time it's where they punch it to secure it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
The ferrule cracked back here?
Yeah. Have you got any punch marks on that ferrule?
This one does not.
No, I think the majority of mine don't either, to tell you the truth.
Now, the Sorbies do. They have a punch mark.
Yes.
But I've never even heard of a ferrule cracking.
I've heard of them coming loose, and I've taken them off and epoxied them on.
Right.
If you're making a ferrule on a handle you're making, you want to make sure you use something like a brass ring to to have the rigidity and control. Putting a nice shape to it, Doug.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about that shape. I mean, if you can have that shape the way Doug's doing it, with the narrow part at the bottom, sorry,
Right.
at the top, or you can just as easily flip that around and have the wide end, or the shorter end going in as the top. It's one of the, it's my favorite shape for doing vases.
Thing is, if it's going to be just decorative and sit there and be looked at, having the narrow on the bottom is fine. But if you're going to actually use it practically and put stuff in it, um, I find I like the weight on the bottom,
Yeah.
so it's a little more stable.
Now, see, that's my fault because I'm not. It's just me. I'm being silly and.
I find what happens when that happens is you're not bringing the handle to the left like you're just doing now with your ball gouge.
I've 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 developed something and I haven't quite figured out what it is. Going to the right, I'm okay. It's going to the left, I'm having issues. And I apparently got it pretty good. So
When you go to the left, you've got to make sure the handle moves to the left as well.
exactly.
Oh, Nigel Harvey's joined us. Welcome, Nigel. Oh, Jamie.
Oh, Mama Sneaks is in as well.
Hey, Mama Sneaks.
Welcome, Mama.
There. No, still got catch marks. I got it pretty deep that time.
Well, if you're going to do it right.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, Jamie said that happens a lot more when you don't listen to Ruby.
We're getting close now.
I like the shape. I really do. It looks like a great surface to paint on.
There's still a lump in there, or a notch in there somewhere. Right. Oh, it's those. That's those bug holes. That's why it caught. Okay. I thought it was
coming
beans.
as well from Copper Owl. I must have missed him coming in.
Oh, sorry, Rob.
I've got this spindle gouge ground at the same angle as my bowl gouge, whatever that angle is, and then the heel is cut back. You can almost see that.
Yep.
And still, it is a spindle gouge, but I'm able to slice with it, much like you do with a skew. I'm going to stop there. It's got those bug trails in there that are that's what I'm feeling, the roughness.
Rich
Stop there.
Bulldog has joined us. Hi, Rich.
Hey, Rich. Rich made it through the storm with
Evening, Rich.
some damage, but not tons, and so grateful to hear that.
Yes, definitely.
And I understand Nova headquarters there in Florida has survived it as well. That's great.
Yes, that is.
Got the
Oh my God. Rich has said low end, but he's guessing $30,000 damage to his house.
Oh my, okay.
That's still a lot.
Yes, it is.
And Jamie is saying he's got pizza for dinner. It's not a class Baroni's, but you can't have everything. We
Well,
haven't
maybe
had
Yeah.
one day I'll get to try a class Baroni.
we haven't had a class
Sometimes you just
Baroni
got to
for
make the
ages.
sacrifice. Get a cut line in
Now,
here before I go too far.
Nigel Harvey has said, thanks for all the welcomes. He is considering a skew course with Colwyn Way, and my wife says I can have it for Christmas. Go for it,
Hey,
Nigel. Go
absolutely.
for it.
Colin's a very nice young man. And he'll do right by you.
You'll learn loads, I understand, from those who have taken it. Keep the speed back down. I forgot to do that. Come on.
I probably would, Jamie. Jamie's saying that I would sell my lathes um, for a class Baroni. Just remember, Jamie, we haven't had supper over on this part of the world yet, so I'm getting close to that point.
I was thinking about a chicken strip salad tonight, but I may not. Yeah, I will. I'm going to have my chicken strip salad tonight. There's a new place in the couple towns down where I sell some stuff at a store. There's a new pizza place that has a chicken bacon ranch cauliflower crust pizza. Oh, it's good.
Sounds good.
It is.
Well, I know I'm going to be eating leftover turkey.
There you go.
Being as how Monday was our Thanksgiving.
Now, Mike has asked if I turn my pizzas with a bull gouge. No. Rich has said Florida has a rule where if they replace stuff, it has to match. So I think they'll be replacing my porch and walkway tiles along with restaining my sidings at the very least.
Well, that's pretty good.
Show them different plans, Rich, so you can get a brand new type of porch.
Let's see if I
Now
switch over.
this tool that Doug's about to use is called a spade bit,
Right.
and for going into end grain, it's the best bit to be using for drilling a hole.
And let me show you something as well. This particular set, the point on this set comes with that's like a screw thread on it. I've taken that to the grinder and taken about 80% of the thread off of it. If you
Yeah,
don't, it's going to suck everything together and it's a pain. It is a
yes.
pain.
The other thing you've got to watch with that point is how deep you go.
Yes. Here's what I was trying to do. I was wanting to see. Yeah, I got to stop a little short of where I did last time. Okay.
I think I'd stop a little short of that if you want to undercut your base.
No. No undercut. I mean,
Um,
I'll dish it slightly, but yes, I'm not going to do a
now,
whole lot of undercut.
now, Richard said that he wants them to fix this under the insurance because it's going on the market next summer once my new house in New Hampshire is finished. Oh,
And
God,
then,
Ah,
you're moving a long way, Rich.
and then Jamie offered to Photoshop for him so that if he wants a new lathe that may have been blown away during the storm.
I
That's
had a
really
lathe on the
nice
front
of you,
porch.
Jamie.
Now, to have odd stuff on your front porch in the South is not odd. A lot of people have couches and refrigerators and.
So Richard said the only job damage he's seen really is his Incra 5000 sled.
That's too bad.
I'm curious, Rich, why are you going to New Hampshire?
I can think of two good reasons.
Closer to you.
And no hurricanes.
And the effect of hurricanes is a whole lot less.
This is true. This is true.
They still get the some of the winds and rain, Wayne. In
All
fact,
right, okay.
it comes all the way straight up to where I'm living in the Great Lakes region.
Now, Frederick has said that Axminster have started to sell Laguna lathes now. I haven't been on the Axminster site for a while. He doesn't think they sold many robusts over here. Well, at the price, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Heather's just come in.
Hi, Heather.
And she says,
Hey, Heather.
she's here now. We can all relax. Oh, thank you, Heather. Richard said he's originally from Massachusetts, and so is his wife. He refuses to live in Massachusetts, so they compromised on New Hampshire. So they've got 31.5 acres up there. Oh, very nice, Rich. Very nice.
Yeah, I'd say. So
That's a lot to look after.
So
and Haley's
retiring,
just
Rich?
come in as well. And Dewey's just come in as well.
Oh, Haley,
Yeah, goodness,
Dewey.
folks. Glad to have all of you along. We're almost done with the turning part, and then we're going to have some real fun here in just a minute. Just a minute. Crank the speed back up.
Jamie has said that Axminster have closed 4 more stores. Yep, that's right, they have.
Yeah.
It's going to end up, Axminster are going to end up with basically just the store they've got in Axminster and the website. And I think that's purely because the cost of the lease on the properties that they had.
Well, I think too, what's affected it is that they're getting more and more online business.
And Jamie said there's rumours Axminster are going to online only or going to be selling up or closing.
That would be a shame.
Yeah, considering they've been around since, certainly for wood turning, since the early 80s. Now, Mike from Dancers said we'll all be using Temu lathes in the future. Well, the thing is, you can actually buy the majority of the lathes that we use over in the UK. The majority of lathes in the States as well. I think probably apart from Robust and One Way in Canada, I think the majority of them are produced in China, and you can buy direct anyway.
Yes, Harvey as well.
Yeah, Harvey as well. Sorry.
They're like Laguna. They're assembled here of parts from other places. They just don't tell you that the vast majority are way other places. Let's turn that off and get that out of there.
I was talking to the owner of Record Power, and he showed me where they're expanding significantly up near Manchester, where they're located, and that they're doing more and more of their manufacturing right there in the UK.
To tell you the truth, that's the way it should be. Now, I know what actually used to do was everything that they imported, all the lathes that they imported, because they were all imported from China, Taiwan, or whatever. Whenever they came across to the UK, they were all remachined with British-made bearings and things like that. I don't know if they still do that, but that's certainly what they used to do.
Now, Dewey is asking, what are you going to use for sanding hollow forms with small openings like that?
Ah, you'll see. You'll see. High tech, I promise you.
Now, I
Yeah,
see.
Jimmy says he loves his Harvey lathe. Yeah, I'd love to have it as well.
I was real surprised. There is a turner who is who has a Harvey, and his Harvey is leaving the shop.
All
Yes,
right.
I saw that this morning. That's Thomas Luke,
Thomas Flavia.
and he
He,
gave his reasoning for it.
well, he sort of did, but then again, he didn't. I think he's planning another video. Kind of left us on a cliffhanger. But yeah, there's a good reason for it. Even the lathe that he was using before he relocated is going.
Well, oddly enough, when I was demonstrating a few weeks ago up north, I ran into the rep for the Lagunas, and the first thing I asked them was whether or not they had fixed the problems they were having with their electronics.
With what?
With
The
their
control panel.
electronics, yeah.
Because there was certainly a couple of 3 years ago that Laguna were having a hell of a lot of problems, or people who had Lagunas were saying they had a lot of problems with the control panel and the electronics.
Yes.
Yeah, Rob
And they're
Summer,
better now than they were in years past.
yeah, Rob Summerlin bought one, and about a year later, the electronics on it went, and it was going to cost him over $3,000 to get a new board from Laguna. And him being an electrician, he knew somebody that was into electronics and was able to get them to
I
rebuild.
know a few years ago, Kim Tippin had a lot of problem with hers as well.
Yes, she sure did. Well, was hers the control panel or was it the spindle?
I'm pretty well. Certainly, one of the problems she had, I'm pretty certain, was the control panel.
May have been. I know she had to change the spindle at least once. Let's see. I'm doing all this. I've got to cut a little part of the lip off of this. It there was a little bit of a knot right there, and it chipped out. So we're going to take care of that real quick. Let's see. Let's get Mr. Half-inch skew here.
Now, Tim TFT, he's looking at the record power region. He's hopefully going to treat himself next spring. Nice one.
Yeah, the Regent's a pretty good lathe. I still really like my Herald.
I think now Jamie will maybe correct me on this, but is it the region that AGK's got?
I think you're right. It's the only lathe that would go small enough.
No, it's bigger than the Herald, Doug. Yep, AGK's got the Regent. And Richard said, going forward, any lathe I have will need to have a rotating headstock.
Sure. That's one
Well,
thing I love about this one.
it makes a huge difference.
Now, Haley has said that Thomas Love said his Harvey was noisy when filming, and the stop button was not well placed. He had to lean up and over the spinning piece to stop it.
Yeah.
And he could be having the eye on the Stratos XL.
Yeah, it's see, make sure I'm going the right. Yeah, this is the way I want to go. Yeah, it's not really. It wasn't that it was so loud, but it was coming across. His mic was picking it up, so he wanted to take care of some of that noise. Changed the
Okay,
bearings, and it did help, but not
now
much.
the Stratos XL, absolutely amazing lathe, but I think you get a better deal with the Axminster 508, which is basically the same spec.
Oh, high tech sanding for those whoever that was asking. Have a
There
slot in
you go.
here, the sandpaper in there, piece of tapes just to hold it when it gets all the way down to the bottom. High tech.
Now,
Hard to beat the.
Fred says that the record power lathes are okay, but he prefers one that goes down to absolute zero. Well, I hate to say it, Fred, but my Herald will go down to zero.
Yeah.
And that is one of the features on it that I like.
My last woodcraft demo, fella came in. He wasn't there for the demo. He wanted to see what lathe was being used and what ideas he could gain. He was looking to buy a new lathe, and one of the lathes he was looking. He had two or three in mind. He was looking at Laguna and was really interested that I was using one up there. And one of his two big things he wanted, I forget what the first one was. The second one was that he wanted the speed to go down something less than 100. And unfortunately, the Laguna did not. It only goes to 3, I think, or 325. So that kind of knocked that one out for him. Other than that, he thought it had whatever his other want was.
Now,
Wish I could remember.
Rich has said that his next lathe, which he can't talk about yet, but it's 3 horsepower, 24-inch swing that he
Oh,
designed for
sweet,
someone.
Hmm.
sweet. I can guess.
Well, when Laguna decided they were going to make a lathe, I happened to be demonstrating on the West Coast in California with Nick Cook, and Laguna actually came and sat down with Nick and I and had us write down what features we would look for on a lathe.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I think our two sheets of paper were almost identical.
Now, the thing that I look for in a lathe, I get with everything I've got on my VB36.
Oh my, I love a VB36. I wish I could afford one. I like my Bole that I have, except that it's a Reeves drive, and it's it's not even working right now.
Well, I one of the reasons I sold off my stubby lathe is that I could do over a 3 foot diameter piece, and I just can't pick up those great big heavy pieces for putting them on the lathe to turn. Turning them
Sure.
wasn't the problem. It's having to try and find one of my neighbors who hasn't injured their back or whatever
Mm-hmm.
and help me get it on.
Right.
All you need is an engine lift.
Well, I do have one, but I still have
Excuse me.
I still have to get it down the stairs from
Well,
over.
that's true. That's true. That's true.
And then once I roll it down the
Holy cow.
stairs, I roll it over to the lathe, and then I can hook it to the lift and then pull it up.
Now,
No, Jamie, that's an actual 3 feet. The length of a yardstick,
yeah.
almost the length of a meter stick.
Now, Rich has said to you, Doug, it's not going to be a Technotool lathe. He designed it under Striatech, their motor
Okay.
division.
Right, right. So, Rich, will this go, if it works out the way you're hoping, will it go out for retail? Because that really sounds like.
And Jennifer said, "Bless you," after that sneeze.
Well, thank you, thank you. Okay, here we are. This is the sanding part, or the turning part, and this is. I wanted to show you all of this because that's part of the process too, and most of you tune in for the turning. So I've got a line here. This has been sanded to 320, and what it needs now, before I go any further, before I forget, a bit of conversation starter. And this acts as a primer for the
That's
paint that
Sandon
will go
Taylor
on.
to everybody else.
Yeah. Who was it, Wayne, that used to ask, what is that all the time?
Oh,
One of the ladies.
it was Jamie. Help.
But Wayne got to where instead of saying, it's sanding sealer for the umpteenth time, he'd say, it's conversation starter.
And
And Jamie would
wants to
say,
know what
why
that
would you call it that?
does.
I'm sorry,
It
what?
wasn't Lucy.
Jamie wants to know what that stuff does.
It starts
It starts
conversations.
conversations.
Absolutely. So there we are. You got it's turned. You've got a cutoff line here. It's hollowed out all the way to the bottom. Um, this Leland cypress has a nice grain, but it's not spectacular. So I'm going to leave that actually in the chuck. Not that it really matters, but it's just a good place for it to park. We'll take this off, and we're going to have a little bit of a Blue Peter moment here.
It
Or
was
maybe I wouldn't
actually
say
Paul
that.
Huyton said it. Paul Huyton, the Gravesby turner. It was Ashley. Now, Richard said, in answer to your question about the lathe,
Yeah.
a specific vendor of ours asked us to design it for them. They are also used now on motors in a couple of bandsaws under their name. Should be released soon, I'm told.
Oh my. Rich, you may be causing me to
Give
Buy
you
a
a
new lathe?
point.
go heavily into debt.
Yeah, it was definitely Ashley.
Ashley, yes. Ashley. Haven't seen Ashley around in a long time. Don't know what
Boy,
happened.
that was quick, Doug.
Yeah, we go from raw wood to this has 2 coats of a light violet paint that's coming across blue, and I'm sure that's the lights and the cameras that are doing that. But it is a light violet. And
Yeah,
then
it is looking a light violet now. Earlier on, before we started, it did look blue.
I agree.
Yep, no question. But that's okay. That's okay. Then I've got to have. Here we go. I got to have 2 other colors of paint.
Well,
So
what's important is that it's a medium tone.
yes. This starts out as whatever my color is. I want two different tones of the same relative color. So this is a light violet, and then this is a dark purple. And that's showing up purple. Well, it's kind of showing up navy, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, and then white, and you'll see that if you don't already know the reason, you'll figure it out here in just a minute. It'll all make sense. You've seen Wayne's water drop bowls, and there is a version. This is my version. This is a purple one, and so that's we're going to try to do this on a vase. Like I said, Wayne did this on a vase a couple of moons ago, 6 years ago, and so
That's a couple moons ago.
I'd say there we go. Get some water. What do you call these, Wayne? Scoochers?
Yeah, Scusher.
Scusher. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can't see it. Doggone it. That's a shame. Those water drops are pretty cool.
Oh, we can see them quite well.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah. The first go around, they didn't show up very well. I'm gonna get rid of that cap so I don't. I'll end up knocking the floor where I can't reach it. Okay. I'm going to take some dark purple just on that top section, and I'm going to go over the top, but I just want to mist the water drops from this side with this dark purple. There we
Okay,
go.
I'm just putting a link into the one that I did 6 years ago.
Very cool. So now you can, well, let's do a little bit more. There's, whoosh, 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 whoosh. There we go. That gets us a shadow coming from this way. Then we're going to do some white.
Doug, I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to agree with Ron Todd. Would you please cover your lathe bed?
I've got it covered with shavings. Yes, I will. I meant to do that. Thank you for the reminder. Same thing with the white, except from the other direction. I'm going to come at it high and across at a low angle, and then
That's
we can move on.
Now, I didn't do mine like this, and what you're actually doing there with putting the paint on as you're doing the water drops
Right.
is you're actually holding the water drops in place with the paint.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I wonder how I figured out to do that.
Yeah, I wonder.
I watched your video 2 or 3 times, and I thought, if he'd spray it as he goes, that might kind of stick his water where it belongs. So that's what we're doing. Okay, more water. And I want to slow my speed on the squirter, on the trigger down just a little. Then we'll do the same thing, kind of at a low angle, going across the water. And then I can do the same thing with the white.
For those of you that haven't done a water drop before, you want to be just about horizontal going across the water drops. That gives you the shadow effect.
Or the highlight.
Or the
Yeah,
highlight.
or the highlight, yeah.
Depending on which one you're doing at the moment. Here we go. More water. I'll try to get a couple of really big drops here. Here we go. Of course, I throw the water, then I throw the paint.
You need
Everything on
one
the
of
floor,
those.
Doug.
You need one of those long pickup tools, Doug.
You're not kidding, I do.
Harbor Freight sells them.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Doug, but at your age, you haven't actually got one.
Not yet, I don't.
When you go pick one up, Doug, it's also a good idea to pick up one of those extendable magnets.
Yep.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
have it stuck to the bottom of the ways on my lathe so that when I drop anything metal, I just use that to pick it up.
There you go.
To tell you the truth, if you're going to pick up one, pick up 4.
Yeah, I did. I have one on each of the lathes and a couple extras lying around.
Yeah, they're not very expensive. That's the funny thing. It's
Yeah,
pretty cheap, actually.
I've got them placed at various places around the house.
Sure. So I'm going to do like I did last time. Actually, walk around here. Makes it just a little easier.
Now, Lucy says, Doug, I have one to reach things that are too high.
I understand. That's what
And
my wife would need one like that.
I can relate to that totally.
Yeah,
Now,
my wife would like one to reach high.
Nigel has said he did a platter like this a few weeks ago, and when I took it to the club, no one had ever seen one or knew about the technique. That's absolutely brilliant. I think that's great because it's showing people new stuff that has actually been around for ages, but there's still people think it's absolutely brand new.
Yeah,
I entered one of my water drop bowls into a wood turning competition. In fact, I entered one of mine into 2 wood turning competitions. The first one got judged, and the judge actually thought it was a vinyl wrap that I'd put on there.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one, which was through General Finishes, which I think is quite a big company in the States.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually won on the coloured piece.
Excellent. All right. Now, the trick for this, and this would have been cool if I'd had a third blue or a second blue Peter moment. The trick now is to let this sit for 12 to 24 hours, allow that water to escape and dry. And what it will do, because I've got the dark coming this way and the light coming from the opposite way, it'll leave the water drop look with the shadows and the highlights and all of that stuff. So I gotta be patient and leave this alone. Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
And so
Ron wants to know what effect you would get if you spun it now.
a mess. Here's
Yes.
what I'm
Yeah,
after.
basically you would you'd get water and paint all over your workshop,
Yeah.
and seeing as how it's on a vase like this, it wouldn't give any particular nice effect.
No,
Mhm.
no. It would just be a mess. So I will walk out of the shop probably until what it's almost 4 o'clock now. I probably won't come back in here once I walk out till 8, 9, maybe even 10 o'clock tonight. Give this plenty of time to at least start drying. If it looks like it is, I may take it off and stand it upright. But more than likely, I'm not. I'll just leave it until tomorrow, and then it'll come. I'll come in and it'll look like this, which is I can still
Uh,
feel it. I can feel the paint, but those bubbles, the water bubbles are flat, and so I will then lacquer that. This has 2 coats of lacquer on it at this point.
and it's flat because basically what happens is the water evaporates and the paint stays where it is.
Yes.
Sometimes you can get cracks on the paint effect, which is not really a problem. All you need to do is put a nice coat of lacquer over the top, and the lacquer actually fills in the cracks so it all
Hmm.
becomes flat again.
Yeah.
Now, another suggestion I have is if you're doing it on a platter like Doug did, different woods change colors, so to speak, when you put the finish on them. So take a piece of whatever wood you use, put some finish on it, and see whether or not the color of paint that you chose will go with the
The
color
wood that you've
the
chosen.
wood's
Yeah.
going to be.
Right. Right. This bowl happens to be a piece of catalpa. This is that Leland cypress. So yeah, when I come back in, I'll start working on the other one actually, and then I'll lacquer both of them at the same time. But yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, other than spraying lacquer, this is done. I just have to be patient and let that water dry completely before I start messing with it.
I've
Learn
got to
that on
say,
this one.
I've got to say, Doug, that has turned out exceptionally well.
Well, thank
It
you, thank you.
really has.
On the camera, that looks really, really white, but it's really not. It's very, very purple through here. Uh, Again, that looks well. That is very dark. Didn't get a whole lot of white. I could go back and shoot it again with a little white, but I think I'll leave it. There is white on it that I can tell. Um, I'm getting some nice variance from very light to very dark. So I count even that section. It looks like I missed the water on it, but
Yeah.
it's just very small droplets. So I'm liking what I'm seeing right here, right now. So get my hand off the lathe, quit fooling with it. Rich, send me that information. I'm curious as much as anything. I may even have to go get a part-time job to pay for it. Who knows? Um, I had a, I've got a lathe in mind that I really think I'd like to have, um, but if what Rich is saying, that very well could change my mind. Yeah. So, any other questions on this mess? It's
um, no questions coming through. Some nice comments coming through, but no questions coming through at the moment.
this is a painting technique, as you have seen. It is not hard, but it does take some patience, and that may be for most of us. That may be the hardest part is exercising patience to let the water dry.
Now, Todd is asking, is there any noticeable difference between the technique on a high humidity day versus a low humidity day?
I just find it affects the how long it takes for the paint to dry.
Yeah,
Probably.
or for the water to evaporate.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing.
Now, I did a demo at a club I used to belong to, a good few years ago, on a water drop platter, and it was basically that they had the heaters on in the workshop when I was doing it, and I went to the water drop, I did the paint, and then I set it to one side and did the blue Peter bit where I already had another one prepared to finish. And by the time I'd actually finished the bowl, because of the heat in the workshop, the one that I'd done earlier, the one that I'd done the demo on, was actually dry, and I could have finished it.
That's good.
Golly, just noticing my hair sticking straight up here. Ah, it's a bad hair day. They're calling for us to have frost and possibly some rain tonight, and then frost early and tomorrow morning. So,
Well, we've been having that kind of weather already.
Yeah,
I'm sure you have.
We had frost the last couple of days, but because of I forget what comes across. Anyway, we are in between high pressure and low pressure at the moment, so the temperatures are going to drop. We've got a fair amount of rain coming in. I tend to be glued to the Met Office website at the moment.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, you don't need any more high water, do you? You've had
No,
enough.
definitely not.
You've had enough.
No, I'm not going to need to bring a life jacket or anything when I go to Harrogate.
No, you're not, Rudy. No, you're not.
Very good.
I am
Well,
starting to get packed for that.
But yeah,
all
but
right.
have you still got your scuba tanks?
Oh, well, I'd rather rent the tanks there and just take the wetsuit and dry suit with me.
Actually saw somebody the other day who on a public forum asked, does a wetsuit actually keep you dry or is it wet?
No, a dry suit keeps you dry, but a
Yes.
wetsuit
A wetsuit,
you get wet.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
you get wet because the water is in there to keep you warm. Am I right, Ruby?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
the water goes in to the suit and the suit holds it there and your body warms it and it stays warm.
Hmm.
But
I'm amazed at how fast it acts, how quick that water warms up. But it's just a thin layer of water against your skin and it warms up and you're comfortable after that. Unless you get out. You get out of the water and keep that wetsuit on, you're going to burn up.
well, when we were filming in Hudson's Bay,
Mm,
even though it was July, I mean the icebergs were on the water above us, and I mean the water temperature was uh, it was about 40 degrees. And sometimes it went lower. And the only reason the water didn't freeze was because of the pressure and the high salinity.
right.
But
Wow.
no, we were still warm enough. It was the exposed parts of your skin
Right.
that had a tendency to get cold.
Right. When our family was getting ready to leave from Florida to come back to Kentucky, and my friends threw a big lake party. We skied. One of the guys brought, that was in what, March, and one of the guys brought a Farmer John wetsuit, and that was so much fun to pull that thing on, and we could ski. And the funny thing about a wetsuit is they've got just enough buoyancy when you hit the water. It's like skipping a rock across the top of the water. We had so much fun just skipping. We'd crash on purpose. Anyway, there you have it, folks. I'll show you the bowl because that's the one I can pick up and show you. Thanks for being here. It's been a great day. I'll be posting pictures of this probably toward the weekend, because I'll let this dry most likely and let it dry till late tomorrow, even or even Thursday. That's what I did on this bowl. Let it dry for a couple of days, and because I had some problems on that bowl, I had to take it all off and redo it. Can't imagine having to do that. That never happened to you, did it, Wayne?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. A few times.
Yeah.
Out of the I don't know. I think water drop bowls. I must be getting close to 150. I've done, but oh
Really?
yeah, quite a few times they had to be redone.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that happens. Um, but I'm going to keep my hands off of it. I'm going to go in and watch TV for a while, think about what I'm going to do for supper, and,
Now
and just have a good time.
I've got to say, Doug, that Heather has put a few messages in that
Hmm.
have been held for review, and then she has apologised and says, "Oops, my chat was on my pocket." What the hell?
Oh,
What on earth goes on in your pocket, Heather?
um, that's a scary thing.
No,
My
Fred made the comment that there is a certain magic between you all that makes these lives very enjoyable.
Oh, thank
And
you, Frederick.
I think what it is that all three of us have the same attitude towards turning and learning and incorporating other things in our work. And we're all
Absolutely.
pretty much on the same page.
Yeah, I've been on a quest here lately to find some unusual turning projects. So this is one. Doing it on a plate or a bowl, wide rim bowl, is one thing. Doing it on a vase is a whole nother creature. But I've got a top. I'm not big on turning tops. In fact, I think I've turned one in my life just to say I did. But I've got a top project. I think I saw it from uh, Mike, Dances with Aardvarks. I think he did it. That I'll be doing that one pretty soon. I'm pretty excited about it.
Do you want me to just briefly show my fighting battleground for tops?
Oh, sure, sure.
Now, the thing is, Doug, if you're going to be doing something that Mike's already done, um, have you been brushing up on your maths?
Oh my, yes. Most of the stuff that Mike does, you got to have
Oh yes.
some great math skills. There you go. That's cool.
Now it's made to look like a fighting
Yeah.
A
stage where
boxing ring. Yeah.
boxing ring, and the hollowed out part in the center was hollowed out on the lathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the ropes do work pretty well for keeping the tops
Uh,
inside.
I was going to say, I bet that keeps them in, that keeps them from shooting each other out completely.
Right.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
So
All right. Um, there was something else that I just recently saw. There's that odd top. There was something else that I recently saw that I wanted to do. I'll have to go back through my notes and see. Anyway, I keep looking for new and different turning projects. I like them turned. I don't like to do a lot of outside stuff. I'm not going to build something so much. What did he just say? He's laughing. You're laughing at me
No, that was
or
about the
laughing at
comment.
Ruby?
No, that was if that's Mike, that was the comment I made about doing the math. I think.
Oh, okay. Could be. Could be. Yeah. No, this project won't take a lot of math. Just yeah, three pieces. One, two, four, five pieces. Five pieces. All turned. It'll be put together. So it'll be pretty cool. So anyway, thanks you guys for being here. Ruby, Wayne, appreciate you being here and uh, advising, answering questions, whatever else, keeping things going. You folks who are in the chat, thank you all so much for coming along.
Just
It means a lot to me that you come. Yes, sir.
just remember, everybody. If I'm giving advice, take no notice.
and if I'm
Take it
giving
with.
advice, take notice.
Do what you want to with the salt. It doesn't matter. Um, where was I going? Oh, I do appreciate you folks being in the chat. If you would, make sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button while you're at it. It doesn't cost you anything. I need, what was it, 30 to get kind of just to my next little footstep before I got several steps before I get to the next milestone, but just a little next little step would help me. So if you'd help me out.
I tried to subscribe, Doug, but it wouldn't let me do it again.
I know, it's crazy. Even on a different computer, sometimes it won't let you do it.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes you can get more than one like in if you do it
Make
on
up
your
a
phone
new
and
name.
then do it.
That's all you do.
Yeah.
Make up a new channel, then subscribe.
Somebody did that. They had like 5 or 6 channels, and they'd go in
Oh
and
yeah,
subscribe on
a
all
lot
of
of some people do. They have their own. They have the wives. They have the family one, which could be 4 kids. So the subscribes through everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I do appreciate it. This is a lot of fun. I don't do it for anything but to have some fun and to help out a few people who have asked me questions, and this is just a good way to do it. So we're going to have fun every week, or most every
Yeah,
week.
but I just come in because I've got nothing else to do on a Tuesday night.
And I do appreciate it, Wayne.
I come in simply because I like you two fellows.
What can we say? Thank you, Ruby. Appreciate it. With that, we're going to shut this silliness down and go have some supper. So we'll talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.
Night night.
Bye-bye.
Oh.